And more set photos from Hawkeye being released, which I didn't realize was they already started filming in Brooklyn.
Huh.
Yeah, that's where we're from. Our little neck of the woods.
And how are we gonna know that?
We're gonna know that by watching Bam Vision.
You know,
Bam Vision, Bam Theories. I'm only thinking about WandaVision.
Bam Vision.
Yeah, Bam Vision.
Name
was
is
a-
only behind in front
I
of your
got
face.
Vision living over here with me.
There was a scene in
Oh, John Wick 3.
John Wick. Yes, it was on 86th Street.
Yeah.
And 20th Avenue.
It's a friend of mine.
Riding a horse down 86th Street.
A friend of mine who does a
that
lot of
happens.
extra work. He was an extra in John Wick 3.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Spitfire?
Yeah, my good friend Alexander Spitfire, who legally I believe that is his name now. He is a fire performer. Maybe we'll toss up a link of his in the YouTube description, get him some traffic. But his night job is he is a fire performer. He plays with fire. That's what he does. You can sign him up for private gigs and stuff.
Inside the garden.
He's performed in Coney Island a bunch of times, and me and my wife
Still,
got a private
still with
show.
that lady? He's still with that lady?
Yeah.
His girlfriend?
Nikki Talis.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce her last name? Talis. Nikki is a sweetheart. She is. We adore her. She's a fire dancer.
Oh, but isn't she? They're still are they still together? Or are they still like in the whole?
yeah,
Their group,
no,
like they still have that same show together.
Yeah, they're still together. They still have their show. Right now, since COVID, they can't really do much. I do think they do private gigs every once in a while, but his I guess you would say his day job is he is on a lot of TV shows. He's an extra. He's been in Gotham a lot. He's played in gangs. He's been in prison. So the prison stint that Gordon did in Gotham, you'll see him in the background a few times. Trying to think of other shows or movies I've seen him in.
How do I get that job?
He honestly he worked his ass off. He actually got he joined the union now, so he gets union work.
Oh wow.
So his he'll get called up for for openings. He has a listing of openings that he can follow up on. So yeah,
Use that.
We play a game. Huh?
I'm gonna join that you.
I know, right? Like every once in a while, we play a game called Can You Spot Spitfire? Because he does a lot of Netflix shows. He's done some Amazon, and he'll just be in the background chilling.
Talk? Where's his background?
There's a lot of background. He hasn't broken out yet as far as getting lines. But we love to say that he gets typecast a lot because he's been in so many prisons. Like, they look at him like, yeah, you are a prisoner.
Yeah, you got that look. You look like you've been in jail. You got that look.
Yeah, but awesome dude. Love that guy.
Yeah, no, I've met that guy a few times. We hung out. I've seen his videos. Pretty good stuff.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate.
I don't know how he swallows a damn sword, but it's okay.
I don't know how he does any of that stuff. He's actually in the Guinness Book of World Records now that I think about it.
Yeah.
We
looked that up together actually. I think when we were working together, we looked that up. We were like,
he has the record for holding a piece of accelerant, something that was lit on fire between his teeth for the longest. So I think the record he did was like over 3 or over 4 minutes, or maybe even longer than that. But he held something.
His teeth look after that?
No, it's good. So the first time he attempted this, we went paintballing the very next day, and his face was just so sore. And then by the end of the night, he just he couldn't do anything. His face was just all not blistered completely, but it was just burnt all around here.
Yeah, man, you have to throw a video in on this one.
Yeah, and he told me it's all about the accelerant that you use, to keep the whatever you're using aflame.
Anything else you guys want to get into?
Disney has 3 to 4 weeks to decide whether to move Black Widow's release because it still hasn't been out.
I was gonna get into that. That one's a prequel, isn't that? Like that's like
Yeah.
in her like her background and all that, and like
Yeah.
before
Listen-
she was actually Black Widow, you
But-
know, Avenger.
Is it? So yeah, it's gonna be a prequel. It's gonna show, it might show what happens during the 5 years. So it might very well take place after Endgame, or it might take place a little bit before Endgame. Not Endgame.
Infinity
What's the
War.
name? Infinity War. Maybe around that timeline. But you have to realize that once again, it has to lead up into this new phase that they're doing. So whatever
They
we
can-
see
they
here,
can-
something that happens here is going to kick off what happens later on.
I mean, it can easily. What I'm saying is that during the movie they're supposed to throw.
I think releasing this movie is something that's going to bump up sales for Disney Plus. People are going to subscribe to see it.
But when?
They need to, like you said, they have what, 3 more weeks? Decide.
Yeah.
Uh,
Another show, Invincible, is coming out.
Really, isn't that a Image property?
Yeah, it's Robert Kirkman from
Okay,
Walking Dead.
so we have Walking Dead dude. All right.
It's an animated series based on the Skybound Image comic about a teenager whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet.
All right. I've never read, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've always wanted to read it, so maybe I don't have to read it now. I'll just watch it. I'll be lazy and watch it.
But
Any others?
It seems maybe not adult, but it seems mature.
Okay. Anything that you guys are watching right now that you would recommend?
The Stand,
Okay.
Your Honor,
I actually have
Right, you're on HBO Max.
Resident Alien.
I told Sully about that. I think she's on board with watching it with me.
Resident Alien.
Yeah.
I may catch up. I may try it, but I don't really think my wife's gonna go for it. Too much of a Christian. But anyway,
Definitely want to check that out. If no one has seen it, and if you're in the mood for like good, like awesome sci-fi, The Expanse, which is on HBO. No, sorry, Amazon Prime. It was originally a sci-fi show. They fumbled. I guess they didn't know what they had. They didn't sign off on another contract, and then Amazon just kind of sat back and waited till like the last minute. There was some crazy fan campaign, and literally like the last minute before they were going to end the project, Amazon stepped in and were like, "No, we'll take it."
Same thing with Lucifer and Netflix. Yeah. It was like the last day that that they can to
listen
to be on another network or something for somebody to pick it up. And it was like the last minute, and Netflix is all right.
When these companies do that, they know what they're doing, because if they build up any interest in that, you're going to start a bidding war. So I'm pretty sure Amazon was like, okay, yeah, we got something good here, but we're not going to say anything, because next thing you know, you have HBO is interested. Oh, no, Hulu's interested. So Amazon kind of just sat on their ass, and at the last day, like hours, they're like, yeah, the show's been saved. Amazon Prime's gonna pick it up. The Expanse, it is smart sci-fi. It's scary how it relates to like things that are happening now, and you can really apply what's happening in our society right now to what's happening in this series. The show just follows 3 different factions. You have Earth, which is just one government. You have Mars, which broke away from Earth, so you have colonies on Mars. And then you have these smaller space stations and like asteroids in between, which are populated by humans. And they all just hate each other. Earth hates Mars because Mars broke away from them. They want their independence. And Mars has such this militaristic view where they're like a hive mind, where if you live on Mars, how do you contribute to, Martian society? Like, how are you playing your part? And they're big on the military. And then you have the colonies, which they call Belters because they live like in the asteroid belt. You have the Belters who they shit on them. They're basically slaves. Like 100% of the food comes from Earth. So the Belters are pretty much, they rely on Earth, but the raw materials and resources come from the asteroids. They're mining all these asteroids for, metals and stuff. But you have Earth and Mars who are just taxing them outrageously. So you have this crazy dynamic of all this tension. And in the middle of that, you have this crew of scavengers who get caught up in this crazy conspiracy. So you have this crew of scavengers who are, some of them are Martians, some of them are Belters, some of them are Earthers, and they have to kind of come together and navigate like this crazy world. And it's smart science. The writing's good. The storytelling is good. You have some heavy sci-fi elements of possible other life out there.
Is that
It
the one
all
with Halle Berry?
no, no, no.
What's the one with Halle Berry?
The first season has the dude who played Punisher, Thomas Jane.
What is this we're talking about?
He's in the
What?
first season, but and actually I think he shows up in a few other seasons too. But yeah, the writing on it is good, and like I said, it feels like real life because it shows that even so far from the future, people are still just shitty to each other. You know, it's they're not racist against skin tone or anything like that now, but they're racist against like where you're born. And like just to show you what they're talking what they do in the Expanse, they have like this torture technique where they'll hang you on a hook. Now for us we might be able to survive, right? But if you're born in these colonies, your body is different because you're born in zero gravity, you develop differently. So as a torture method to these people who aren't used to earth gravity, they'll hang them on a hook, and I'm not even sure they're even piercing their skin. I think they just like put it under their arms so they're hanging, but they're getting crushed under their own body weight because their body's not doesn't have the muscle mass to support their own body. So that just goes to show you the science and the thought that's behind the series. And if you haven't checked it out or you've never heard of it, check out The Expanse on Amazon Prime. I believe it's 5 seasons now. They just finished on the 5th season and they're filming the last season now.
Your Honor is it's a limited series, and he's a judge who his wife passed away. He has a son. Son has asthma, and he goes to he was driving to school, and there was a kid. They go off onto another family, and this kid got a present for his birthday, and it was some motorcycle, and he's driving it, but the kid drops his inhaler. So he's looking for it. He's reaching down looking for it, and then the other kid, he looks up and he smashes into the car. So the other kid, he dies. He tried to save him, but he died. But then he started freaking out. So then he left the scene. He tries to cover it up. He goes home and he tells his father, and then now his father has to try and protect him. He's a judge, well-respected judge, and he's like, you got to turn yourself in, explain to them. But when he went to the precinct to turn himself in, he saw that there was a couple and they were crying, and he realized that was the family, but that family is a mafia family.
Mafioso.
So he saw them and just turned around and walked out. So now, since then, he's been trying to cover his tracks. He's been trying to figure out like what he can do to cover up everything that his son did. He's going places. He's erasing footage from gas stations. Like, he's going in. He's rewriting the storyline of that day to try, as an alibi. But then he has all these other people that butt into his life and trying to help him out, and then it calls him out on his lies. So it's pretty good. I mean, it's only like 1 season so far, but
definitely might. I think me and Sulu were talking about checking that out. Our sister recommended that, so yeah, that's something that we definitely want to watch. We're just trying to finish up Westworld and Lovecraft Country right now, which
I gotta start that one.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah. I didn't start it yet, but I gotta start that one.
Watch it. I'm not sure if your wife will, if she might like it, because it has some very dark overtones and everything. But
We'll see.
yeah,
It was okay with watching the other one you recommended.
all right.
There's a lot of dark overtones in that.
I don't know how to describe Lovecraft Country because it almost feels episodic, where like every 1 or 2 episodes they're kind of different, same cast and everything, but the story is just like going like in such weird directions, and sometimes it feels a little goofy, sometimes it's dark as hell, sometimes there's some sci-fi elements to it, and sometimes it's a touch of realism and drama. They're touching on things like racism, and then I don't know, it's weird, it's all over the place. When we were talking about the Loki show, I was wondering, so we know, who plays Loki and everything. Was it Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah.
Are they gonna throw in some Easter eggs in there, like have a female version of Loki or a child version of Loki? Because in the comic books, that's what happens to him. Loki dies and resurrects as some banging ass female chick. She looks all gothic. Then he dies once again and he resurrects as a young little kid. They're still the god of mischief. They're just, taking on different forms. So I wonder, as an Easter egg, in the Loki TV show on Disney Plus, are they going to explore those themes? Even if it's just a small head of having him take on a female form for a mission or whatever. Like, who knows?
And shapeshift. Like they might be able to something they shapeshifts into. But remember, like we said about WandaVision, only one series, only one series. And can you do that in one series?
With smart writing, yeah, I think you can. Like,
Yeah.
maybe something like the Loki TV show they can stretch on for as long as they they want to. I personally think that these shows might be one and done. Like, watching these shows, don't expect another season. Expect these characters to reappear in some form or fashion in other projects, but I'm holding my breath. I don't think that these are gonna be multiple seasons.
And they do phases and stuff too. So, I mean, whatever series that they have until like the end of the year. I mean, probably even further, because WandaVision's going, and then that ends mid-March, and then Falcon Winter Soldier after that, and then
They have
another one after that, another one
they
after
have a
that.
lot on their plate because you have She-Hulk is gonna have their own show. Moon Knight is gonna have their own show. Ironheart, the show War Machine, something Wars, Armor Wars. They have so many shows lined up. I say the best thing to do is don't treat this as a TV show that's gonna appear for a second season. Treat it as a long ass movie, and once that movie's done, that's it. They might get a sequel in the sense that, yeah, like this character, Scarlet Witch is gonna appear in. Sorry, Wanda is gonna appear in her next series, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Disney's got a plan. Marvel's got a plan. So,
Oh yeah.
But we'll see what
They always have
happens.
a plan.
We got the next. If there's talks, they got up to the next 2028 of already set movies that they're trying to keep dates on, but to 2028 at least, we got stuff that's going to be coming out, and that's only based off of now, and that's looking at the next all these years already. Like we're getting like 7 years worth of movies, shows, and they already got a plan. So, and the plan can change probably date wise and edit. How you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. Everything that they have lined up. We're definitely gonna get another Avengers movie. I'm really curious to see what route do they go with there. With that. Because you gotta think that all the movies in between lead up to the Avengers movie. So who's gonna be in this Avengers team? Do they try to push the younger Avengers on us since they've already introduced two characters from the young Avengers, so we know that they exist? Are they gonna say follow something? My favorite Avengers team, a new Avengers when they first came out, where you finally had SpiderMan on the team, you had Wolverine on the squad, Luke Cage.
It's about 100 different versions of the Avengers.
Yeah, like what
at least.
Avengers, do you cast for this next movie?
Upcoming. If they don't throw in Spider-Man, I'll be very disappointed because he should be in the Avengers. Because he's already there. He's young.
It all depends on the relationship that Sony and Marvel maintain, because for the longest it seemed like Tom Holland wasn't gonna come back. It finally happened when they were like, all right, we're gonna do another contract. It all depends on their relationship. I just wish that Disney just gave Sony a blank check finally and said, let us get our boy back.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Probably, what is it? Spider-Man's probably the most, if not the most single character in a lone comic book series ever. Probably the most popular.
If you look it up, in terms of popularity, I think it's either Spider-Man and Wolverine, who's like the best known and like the most popular characters in terms
Number
of
one, like
appearing and
he's
stuff.
He's always paired with like everyone. He's been paired with like a
Yeah.
number of characters.
Yeah,
You
if
know,
you look at the comic books though, I want to say this falls on Wolverine.
Spider-Man.
You think you looked it up, Spider-Man? Okay.
told you.
No, because I'm just saying like Wolverine. It's more easier to say, let me look up a team that Wolverine is not on, versus let me find out how many teams Wolverine is on, because he's on every team.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's on Avengers, New Avengers.
Fantastic Four,
He
right?
had a version on the Dark Avengers. He was on. He led his own X-Men team. He was in was it X-Force? You know, he's all over the place. He's been in Alpha Flight. He's been on so many different squads.
He was on Excalibur too. Wasn't he even in Excalibur?
Probably like the problem with Wolverine is like, you know, oh, Wolverine here, let's get him. He's super popular. Let's get him on our team. You know,
He's in
like
House of M. That's a whole other team.
like back when I was like reading comics like heavily, it was kind of annoying because they have so many different storylines going on. So I'll be reading one, and then like he'll be in like an X-Men, but then I'll be reading an X Factor. And I'm thinking, all right, where is the timeline for this? Like, how the hell can he be on this team? And
Dude,
then all of a
he's
sudden
so
he's
old
on this.
too. Remember,
And
dude,
then and then he has the nerve to be in New York with the Avengers. It's like, come on, bro.
dude, you remember how old he is though too? Like this dude is like
No,
centuries old.
I'm talking about stories that are currently ongoing and happening at the very same time. How
Oh
can you
yeah,
have one character in 10 different places?
because he's Wolverine because he's got like
He's popular.
That's what they do with Superman. He's like Action Comics, and then they have Superman, and then they have Justice League. And like, why do you have three or four different types?
Yeah, it's I don't know. They need to tone down for like when I was reading it just would have been nice and like, a little bit more coherent to have like one singular story, I guess. Because I love all
is it
these different stories that were coming out.
got
Michael
Spider-Man
Bendis.
fan. They got Spider-Man in a bunch of teams too. I mean, you got him in the Avengers, and you got him in Fantastic Four too. Look at that version. Have you saw the newer Spider-Man where this guy Richard Reed dies, and you got Spider-Man in there now. He's like this white character. You know what I mean, his
Johnny
whole
Storm. It was Johnny Storm.
white
Johnny
costume.
Storm
I
who
mean,
passed.
huh?
It wasn't Reed Richards. It was Johnny Storm.
Oh, Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Nerd.
Yeah, you are a nerd. Anyway,
The wrap up talk.
What do you guys think of this? I don't even know how you see
Who
it.
the hell is that?
So this is Bat in the Sun,
Okay,
and they make like fan.
fan films.
Yeah. So this is from their new one that they're working on.
Kevin Porter. Yeah, I've heard of this. I've heard of this.
Looks pretty dope. He looks like a funny ass Joker.
I have another colleague of mine I worked with was talking about this. It's like another Batman universe.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff though.
You like jazz?
Yes,
This is
Arkham.
yeah.
oh, Enigma. Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they got a lot of good set picks right there. Is that from the Court of Owls? Oh, Hugo Strange.
Chris Daughtry as Hugo Strange.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to that guy.
But yeah, I mean, like, yo,
It's
this
easy. This guy's supposed to be like Diesel too, from what I understand. Like he's a big dude. No, he's in
he's big.
like 6'5" type of big.
Mm-hmm.
Murder me.
This guy
Penguin?
got
Wow.
old.
Yeah.
They might get their own series.
Yeah.
Maybe they get their own spin-off.
But I mean, it looks good, and I think it's only going to be like 22 minutes or something like that. It's a short film.
He's
but-
gonna do a lot in 22 minutes.
Oh yeah. These are
What
the
the
ones
hell?
that like they make everybody battle each other.
Who's that character? Dodge. It's Doge.
The Space Bears.
The
Wow.
hell? Yeah, yeah. I told you my theory. My theory is that they might bring in a female and younger version of Loki in a Loki show.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Mm.
My immediate theory is going to be this is how Monica gets her powers.
My theory is the Black Widow thing with Hawkeye. I seriously think that's
Yeah.
they're going to be the next stage that they're going to put off with Black Widow.
What about you,
We got
Ant?
I have a lot of
This
theories,
is,
man.
you can do yours as be continued.
I have a lot of theories. So,
His theory is Mike is going to leave in the next 30 seconds.
Doctor Strange. Goodbye. No, Doctor Strange is gonna show up at the end. There's Paul Bettany and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Have never been on screen together, right?
Nope. They have yet to work with each other.
All right.
All right, that sounds good.
I'm
Well,
cutting
that's
out.
it. Another episode of Bam Theories. Done, son. Mike has to hurry up and go.
My theory
All right,
is,
guys. So that's Bam Theories. I'm Anthony.
I'm Bren.
I'm Mike.
And I'm out.
Goodbye.
Later.
Don't fall, Bren. Don't fall this time.
Nah, I got a different chair.
I came back.
I bust my ass last time.
That's for real, fellas.
All right, deuces.